Ring. We here?
Yep.
We live.
We're live. 1 2 1 2.
What's good, Van City and the world at large? How y'all feeling tonight?
Yeah. Welcome to Beyond the Lyrics, and it's your host, MCK Ski.
I am the Magnificent Kava One.
And pardon us, we had a little bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're just we're figuring out how to run a smoother podcast every episode, I'm realizing. And, it's a bit of a learning curve, but each episode is getting better. This episode is looking dope as well. We have some pretty amazing guests and a lot of awesome topics to discuss, especially for you artists out there who, might be looking for resources that can help, be a catalyst to your growth on this scene. And maybe as an artist, who knows? We got a lot of interesting things to discuss tonight.
Yes, sir. And that's what we talked about before. What we want to do is present information and resources to help artists, to empower artists so that if they want to go the independent route, they can. Or if they want to get signed, they can put themselves in a position where they can negotiate of a position of power.
Exactly.
And speaking of power, we got two professionals
in
the building. We got the homie Josiah representing Queen's Level Production. Queen Level Production. And we got my man.
Together.
Yeah, put your hands together. And we got my man Deshaun in the house representing that Mango Tree Music Corp.
Yep. Yes.
So we're going to discuss business. We're going to talk about, because we all know how to record, get our music done. But then where do you go after that?
Yeah, a lot of artists, it's kind of like an incomplete puzzle,
Yeah.
You got all the pieces there, but you got to fit them together, and you got to make them make sense, You can't be jamming those square pegs through a circle hole and hope that it's going to come out on the other end.
So, and then later on, we got my man Red Shirt Mike coming through.
Yep, he's going to be bringing two heavyweights from the Set the Bar lineup. Mr. Mike Wild, Big Salmon himself, and Shine 9, who's just coming off a dope battle with my homie Rev Ron out in Nanaimo. Shout out to Namrock. What up? It's going to be a good show, man. Due to some technical difficulties we had to get started here, we're going to kind of just sort of quickly go through the intro, which is what we just did.
Yep.
And we're going to jump straight to the guests right now. So due to the volume of seats and microphones, I'm going to pass this over.
He's going to fade to black.
To Ski for the first half. They're going to bring me out for the second half. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. So, here are our guests, Deshaun and Josiah.
So if y'all want the headphones, I'll go without the headphones.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can see.
Yep.
Radio days.
Yeah.
This mic?
So, yep. If y'all want to do mic check.
Yeah. All right, this is cool. Headphone levels. Yeah.
So you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, welcome, Deshaun and the homegirl, Josiah. Thank you. This is your second time on the show. I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some good times.
So, it's been a lot going on in that year. I've seen you on your grind doing performances, but more than that, you started a venture.
Yes.
Queen Level Production.
Yes.
So, what was the motivation behind starting that?
I guess I've always felt passionate about supporting women in different ways. And there really is in the music industry, there's a definite need for, supportive opportunities for women. I have a special focus on women in reggae music, reggae dancehall, but we're open to all genres.
Okay.
So it's an opportunity to support emerging artists, professional artists, in a lot of different ways through event production, showcasing, connecting with industry professionals. Queen Level Productions is supporting a show coming up at Calabash on May 9th through LT Irie. who has a regular reggae night there. So he's on board, and he was one of the people. It was him and Ndidi Cascade. Shout out to Ndidi.
Shout out to
She was on the
Ndidi.
last show too with us.
She was on the show. She you talking about grinding? She's always grinding.
And the common thread that we all have is it's community support. You know, we're community based. We want to grow music in BC and beyond. But so the show, the Empress show. It's going to be Thursday, May 9th at Calabash at 9:30 p.m. And it's going to feature myself, but also some other really great reggae artists in the city. And that's just one of the things that we're doing. But that's an example, you know, so we're on as a sponsor and we're taking part in it. And, we definitely support like our BIPOC community. And also we're inclusive, you know, we invite female identified artists to join our platform and our events and things. And also, you know, people with disabilities. I live with neurodivergency myself. And so, you know, to create spaces for that are safe and inviting and inclusive, you know, the sky is the limit.
And so that show at Calabash, which has some great food. I love their food there.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So that's that show in May, but I know you got another show coming up.
I do, yes. I have a hot new band.
Okay.
Including a female trumpet player, I have to say.
You got a trumpet player? Oh, I'm jealous.
Well, you can source some female musicians through Queen Level Productions.
There you go. Hustle.
But it's going to be Friday. It's the weekend of 420 weekend, actually.
Okay.
Medicine weekend. And Friday at 7 p.m., we'll be doing 2 45-minute sets. It'll be a nice mix of cover and original material. We got some Erykah Badu, some Stevie Wonder, you know. And it's going to be busy. They have lineup around the block. So, like, get there by 6:30, you know, or line up before because seating will be limited.
Okay.
But, they have a great atmosphere. Shout out to Guilt & Co. They've been very supportive of me. I did my first show there almost a year ago.
Yeah. They've been supportive of local artists.
You've been there too.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
We were there together.
Yeah. We've been getting busy in there. Yeah, doing our thing. But so what about projects? Are you working on any new projects? You got anything coming out?
I have a single that has just been released called You to Light. And it's a special track. I co-produced it with Juno Award-winning producer DJ Chemo.
Shout out DJ Chemo.
Yep. Yeah, you worked with him as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because it's like I'll be hitting you up. I'll be like, you got any resources I can tap?
Chemo.
She'd be like chemo or this. I'll be like, okay, I'm on it.
I mean that's community, right?
Yeah,
like we want to help raise each other up and help each other develop and get ahead. We don't want to keep things to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, right? So it's like abundance grows. We just help each other out.
Repeat that again. A lot of people need to understand that when you give, you also get back. You know?
Where love goes, abundance grows.
Yeah. She said it. She said it better than me. You know?
Yeah. So, I just this song is. I wrote it during the pandemic, and basically, I mean, a lot of people got shut down. There was a lot of fear, where there was a lot of restriction. And it was inspired by just the fact that we need to keep our light shining, quite literally, you know, and to not let ourselves just be locked away. I like to keep living, you know.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Yeah.
And so that's the basis of the track. And it's for everyone, you know. We all have gifts to share, and we need to keep thriving and growing, and not just surviving.
Yeah. As I told you, my wife been taking me to yoga. You know, when you're a young old head, your hips and your back.
It's real hip hop. Right?
Yeah, for real. And they got a saying in there when it's like the light inside me sees and honors.
Namaste.
The light inside you, namaste.
Yeah.
I actually did that at my last show. I did that to the crowd. And namaste. I hit them with the namaste on it.
But that's the exact thing, right?
Yeah. So the song is definitely about empowering, getting people to discover that light that we have and not letting the outside world,
the powers that be.
Oh, I can go on for days about that.
Yeah.
So, and you brought a very special guest
Yes.
to the show.
Bless.
You know, I've been trying to link up with them, and both, you know, being busy and stuff. And like we talking about, not only when you're in the industry, you make your music and stuff, but when you got a life, job, responsibilities, sometimes it's hard to connect. But we finally did it, and we got the one and only Deshaun, who I had the pleasure to talk to briefly on the phone.
Just a little bit.
And I want you to tell that story, what we was talking about, man.
That's a long-winded one, bro.
And I'm glad you didn't move to Baltimore. I'm glad you
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you came to Canada, because Baltimore wasn't.
Yeah, no, Baltimore ain't happening.
So how long have you been in the music industry dealing with?
I'm going on probably, I'm gonna date myself now, probably looking around 25 years.
25 years.
But I started off playing drums in my dad's church from age 8.
Yeah,
So
that's what you was
I'm a
telling me.
musician first, you know, and then later down the road, time goes by, I got bit by the bug of, you know, recording and production and stuff like that, and then got into the business aspect.
And
So-
I like what you said about you wanted to help artists out. So what was your motivation for kind of switching from doing music to helping artists and starting your business?
Yeah, my early days of hip hop in TO, Toronto, where I'm from, there's a lot of crappy and can you swear on the radio?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of shitty deals, right?
Yeah.
So, and even at the infancy stages that we were at, like the ones that were doing something, you always kept on hearing those stories. Then I wanted to learn more about it, and then when I found out, you know, who really does what, and how really what the foundation of the industry really is, which is the songs. Learning more about that in regards to copyrights and who owns what and how to monetize it. Then I just jumped right in and started learning more about it, because of just a lot of people in the neighborhood just getting stupid production deals, you know. And that was back then. Like
Yeah.
I'm 52. Like I'll say my age. I don't care.
Young old head like
You know what I'm saying?
50, yo.
I'm 54.
You know what I mean? And then entrepreneurship is in the blood of my family, right? So I bit the bug on that. So I wanted to learn more about the business, and once I did, I just fell in love with the whole process from start, from recording, from writing, all the way down to getting into the hands of somebody who sees you at a show.
Yeah.
So that whole entire mechanics of music, that's the key with artist development, you know. And labels used to do that back in the days. They had departments, like A&R was right beside artist development, and then they got rid of it. So they just leave it up to the managers now, or the artist themselves, to develop them.
So do you see how that hurts artists in the industry, not having that artist development? Does that mean do you see artists coming out that's not ready, or do you think to yourself, man, they need some?
Well, you're going to find that at any level, kind of, but I'm seeing that it is importance to develop yourself, to develop your audience, you know, develop your value in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Because then that way you're coming to the table with something. You're not just saying, okay, and then accepting. And I mean, at the infancy stages, you have to, you know, cut your teeth on stuff.
Yeah.
But there's still certain aspects you got to make sure that are in place, even at the infancy stage, you know, and not. And they say starving artists, I get it, but there's starving people as a music industry professional as well. But you have to really, you know, I always say it's more quality over quantity, because each step is a strategic marketing step, or a branding step, or a development step. As long as you're making one step forward, even if it doesn't matter how the pace, as long as it's forward.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's something that a lot of artists don't think, because, you know, a lot of artists like, yo, I got this hot track, I'm gonna just put it out there and I'm just gonna blow up, and it's not like that.
yeah, I mean, technology has changed obviously over the years, and you know, being able to witness that, because I'm old school, to see that there's good and bad in it, but it just makes it a lot easier for our independent artists to reach an audience, get their marketing out there, which is usually the biggest thing, because a lot of artists don't budget for marketing. They budget for recording, and that's it. And it's like, okay, well, you can have the greatest record on the world, but if you don't market it, it's going to sit on your shelf and you can listen to it in your Walkman.
Yeah.
See how dated I just said that? Walkman? I'm retro.
I remember my first Walkman.
Cassette, says they call it. Cassette.
And so what was it about Josiah that you was like, I would like to work with her, collaborate? What anything?
Work ethic. She was already doing a lot of things as an independent artist that I was like, okay, she's checking the boxes. Persistence. And just seeing that it was like, okay, there's a potential there. Because a lot of artists are talented, and talent is everywhere, but it's the work ethic and understanding, and then seeing other things that she was what she was doing. Then okay, there's that entrepreneurship side, right? And that's where a lot of artists have to understand that you're a business. The minute you decide to take it out of your garage or your basement and you want somebody to pay 99 cents for your song, you're a business.
Yeah.
So you gotta wear both hats and understand that you gotta watch your money.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch said, "Watch your chicken."
Yeah.
You gotta,
watch your chicken and your.
That's why you got
Yes. Take care of your mentals. Take care of your mentals. Wash your chicken.
Shout out to Beast Mode. Beast Mode.
And Josiah, what was it about Deshaun that made you be like, I want to see about, I want to reach out to him and see about working with him?
Yeah, I actually found Deshaun on a Google search. Yeah, I was looking for support because I knew how hard I was working, but I also knew that I'm a teacher, I'm a mom, I'm a single mom, and life is full, and I knew that in order to take things to another level that I needed some support. And so I was looking everywhere just to I just came across, it was meant to be. I came across, the stars aligned, and to be honest, I actually started with him just as I did a 20-minute sort of little brief phone call to make sure it was the right fit, and I hired him to do a couple hours of artist consultation, and I had a big long list of tasks to do by the end. But he was very encouraging and also opened my eyes to a whole level of things that I needed to address.
Yeah.
And so, can I quickly tell the eye roll story? Just like, okay. Basically, he saw what I was doing, and he looked out for me from afar, and we just kind of circled in and realized that, he had things to offer that would help me grow as an artist. I really trust him. I trust his, intuition on things, and he's got a plethora of experience in so many different arenas. So he's like my artist mentor, industry consultant. Like, I'm learning so much. Okay. And so, I feel like I have a team, and I feel like I'm not alone. And that can be daunting important sometimes, as a woman, especially, when he really believes in women empowerment and helping raise women up. So, that's kind of how it came to be. And it's just continued from here, and I don't know, I just feel blessed right now. Yeah.
So Deshaun, this checklist that you gave her, was this something to show if there was the work ethic and the willingness to do that, or is it something that I want people to go through this process to know what it's like? Because experience is the best teacher.
Right. Exactly.
So this list that you gave her to do, was it kind of used to like, okay, let me see if she's serious?
It's the list is going to show if you're serious or not, because it's a daily, and if you can't do daily, do weekly. But it should be should be happening at least once a week, so that you can see some movement. But it's the list is catered towards where the artist is in their development. I don't talk under and I don't talk above other artists in regards to information. So I want to find out what level we're going to be having a civil conversation at, right? And once I assess that, then it's like, okay, great. So at least if I'm talking about copyrights or if I'm talking about marketing strategies, I won't talk over them, so it just gets convoluted and you lose them. Right. So I always tell people, talk to me like I'm a 3-year-old, man, like, so I can understand it, so then I can apply it to what my life and how it works with me. So a lot of our questions was asking about is like, okay, Josiah, what's your personal life going on? What do you have that's your responsibility? So then that way I'm not giving things that's going to overwhelm. Because you need obtainable goals, because that's encouraging. If you get overwhelmed, you get you're depleted. So the list is catered to within, usually after my consulting sessions, you get like a 3-month plan, and you can either execute it or we can talk about how I can help you execute it. But one way or another, it's a 2-way street. It's like 50-50. It's not, I'm not a babysitter. Right? I'm going to teach you how to fish, pretty much. That's the best way I can explain it. So it's based on needs and wants and catered towards that artist.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, I really like that approach. I'm not just going to give you a fish and then that way you got to keep coming back. No, I'm going to teach you how to fish.
Right.
Because that's the true source of independence, empowering the person.
Yeah, because I don't work with a lot of artists, and that's not because I'm whatever. It's just that's just I know the attention I can give. Like I usually work 3-4 at a time, from different genres because and at different levels. Some are at the same level, some aren't. Some things I'm doing all everything. Some things I'm only talking. I'm only giving instruction or bouncing ideas. So it depends on the needs and wants and budget of the artist, right? And then we take it from there.
And I want to say too that while he's in town, definitely artists should hit him up. Yeah, contact Queen Level Productions. It's on Instagram at Queen Level
Here
Productions.
to the 22nd.
Yeah.
Here to the 22nd.
I want to say I'll be here all week, but no.
So Josiah and Deshaun, you can chip in too.
Sure.
What, as an artist, when you finish producing, you got your music recorded. What's the next step? Because I think a lot of artists, they don't know what to do next. To, like you said, okay, you got this dope song, but how do you get people to hear? How do you get people interested? Right. So what are some of the steps you think that needs to be done that artists don't do or don't know what to do?
I mean, I'm learning a lot about just submitting. We're submitting my track to college radio.
Okay.
Submitted already.
Have submitted to college radio. But these are things that I wouldn't have had the skills to do. And there's codes and metadata and there's things that you need to include. And then of course, you want to show the radio stations support by, I think we even did one for you, the little bumpers and stuff. You have to put in detailed work, and it's about building relationships as well. You know what I mean? And staying humble, but also excited about your project. And what else would you add to?
Well, I mean, I think that if you finish your recording and you don't know what you're going to do, you're way behind the ball. You should be documenting and bringing, and I always say, putting out breadcrumbs from the time you decide to go writing. It's a journey. It's a story. Control the narrative, and bring people along that journey with you, so they get attached to your project. Yeah. So then now there's an emotional attachment. Then once you do that, then you'll get feedback. You'll see the interaction. You'll see what songs work. You can play with that. You can do a content. You can do all that stuff while you're in the production mode, and then bring them behind the scenes. Hey, we're going to be dropping vocals, all that kind of thing. Yeah. People get totally engaged with that. Once you can continue to engage your audience, this is even before you even release it. You're doing all your pre-promotion for free, and getting out there and drawing in new people through your hashtags or however else you want to do your promotion, all your marketing vehicles. But that's a key thing. You got to do it while you're recording and writing. You should be planning your marketing while you're doing that, because those stages are important for people to know, and they are all part of your marketing story.
I like that. Those gems right there. I never even thought about that. I mean, I've been doing that, but I just was like, I need to.
Well, I always say you post with purpose. There should be, you have the content, you get your content, but you should always post with purpose. Yeah. There's got to be a reason why, and have a call to action for each one.
I've made some posts and he's like, hey, why did you post that? What's the reason behind that? It is just a random post, and I've gotten post happy before, but now you have to refine it and be discerning around why you're posting and what connections you're making and what community you're contributing to and what you're building, and
quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Definitely. So you mentioned about radio. So is radio, back in the day, radio was definitely important. Do you find that it still is important?
For the independent scene?
For the independent scene.
I mean, yes, we have internet. Okay, so you're going to be on internet radio. You're going to be heard across. And now that there's organizations out there that'll track that, so you can get your performance royalties and things of that nature. Before the independent scene, all we had was college and campus and community radio. Yeah. Which are all the same. So, but, and other than CBC, but I mean, anybody out there that knows what's going on in Canada for college radio, that they have charts. And that they're run, and then they're published through Exclaim magazine, and there's all the radio stations. They're reporter stations, right? And those help, because if you're, as an artist, independent artist, they get on the Exclaim chart for hip hop, people in the industry check that, You know, in my days of being a music buyer for HMV back in the days, and being in radio and being just, you know, being involved in knowing what's going on, you check in the charts. Club owners check charts.
Yeah.
Festivals check charts. Other radio stations check charts.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to add to your independent resume as it's building, to show, okay, because it's a hustle. It's the same thing that major labels are doing, is just they just have more human resources and financial resources, but it's the exact same principle, same action plan.
Yeah. So me and Cava, we was talking a while back about independent artists, and you get to a point where you can't do everything on your own. Mm-hmm. So is that where you find yourself, you came to a point where it's like, I need a team. I need some...
Yeah, well, there is a reason for that too. Like, I am kind of re-emerging as an artist after coming back from some body injuries, car accidents, things like that. You know, in sort of coming to a fresh new place and like coming back with lots of songs to share, I knew that in order to take myself to the next level, you know, continue to learn and grow, I needed that support. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, there's lots of reasons why people just can't do it alone. You need a team, you know, and we have our community vibe and support and all that kind of stuff. But this is like getting technical. This is the details. And yeah, I'm like a sponge. I just watch and learn, and yeah, there's a lot to know. Yeah. I called Deshaun a wizard.
Okay.
Hilarious.
The whiz. So, as you were saying, going through your experience and stuff with the car accidents and getting back, did that fuel a lot of your songwriting, like going through this experience?
For sure. I mean, I call my music medicine, and it's first music medicine for me. It's almost like therapy, you know, and like a lot of my songs are about healing and listening to guidance and, you know, rising up like a phoenix, you know, from the ashes. And just, so, and then, yeah, it's medicine for me, and then hopefully medicine for whoever needs to hear it. But yeah, you know, it's downloaded from, experiences, you know, intuition, you know, life lessons. Yeah. There's actually a song called Lessons Are the Blessings. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, our good friend Jam Martinez down in Mexico. Shout out to Jam. Yeah, he's actually working on that song right now. Okay. And it really is about just like the learning and the growing.
I call my music contemporary Negro spirituals, but
nice. Contemporary Negro spirituals.
So we know, okay, radio is a component.
Yep.
But what else would be another component to get you heard, to get people excited about what you're doing? Performances?
Yeah, I mean, you're getting to as part of marketing, you're looking at one of the P's is PR and promotions, right? Which is under the marketing part. And you want to generate awareness. I'll give you an example. What we're doing with Josiah right now with the 19th for her show, as well as the single, and pushing it out to radio. These are things that are surrounding her story, which is a resurgence after coming from the hiatus from her injuries, coming out with a new band, new songs, hitting radio first time, coming out with a new company, even though it was, you know, birthed from before. This is the launch of it, if you could say. Is really looking at that, right? And we're preparing press releases, media alerts, which are two different things. Okay, right? So, and then it's a way of introducing, you know, tapping into your local media is huge. Knowing how to present yourself to them and know what to ask for, how to present it, and know when to present it. These are things where, you know, I come in and either execute for them, or I actually can show them how to do it. And this is part of like a little bit of both. I'm showing her the structure, showing her the content of what should be in there, and then even how to lay it out, and then who to send it to, you know, and even how to do the intro email. All that type of stuff is training her brain to retain the separation between artist and entrepreneur.
Yeah. And
then know when to put that hats on, right?
Training your brain to retain.
You like that?
Them sound like bars right there. But I think that's a really important part that people don't understand, especially artists, like the artistry part, but then there's that business side, because it is called the music business.
Right.
So, do you find that a lot of artists, they underestimate the importance of learning business or getting with people to help, and not just getting your boy Ray to handle your business affairs, but actually getting with somebody like you and your company that can help take them to that next level? Do you find out there needs to be more value placed on that?
Well, I'd say there's a huge value placed on artists now, especially in have that information more accessible. And it's good that if they have that work ethic to plan and then work your plan. So you plan your work and then work your plan.
Yeah.
And then some have that luxury of the responsibilities in their life that they can devote time. If you can devote, some artists can devote 1 day a week. Some can devote 3 days a week. Some can devote half an hour a week.
Yeah.
So it really depends on, that artist in regards to that.
You always talk about baby steps.
Yeah.
And that gave me a sense of relief, because I can get overwhelmed. And, there's been times he'd say, do we need to slow down? Baby steps, as long as you're doing something in the right direction.
Yeah.
So if life got busy, if mama duty called, I felt good about like tapering it back, moving, because you can only work within your own capacity.
Yeah.
And so to have like somebody coaching me along like that, and you give yourself permission to have some breathing room sometimes too.
Is that difficult to be able to sit that artist hat to the side and take care? Because I know sometimes when me and my wife, she'd be talking to me and I'm thinking about lyrics and shit, and she'd get mad. She'd be like, are you even here? Like, what's going on? I was like, but baby, you said this word and then it triggered this thought, and then
I gotta write a rhyme.
You just start pattering.
Yeah.
So, but it is hard. Like,
you have to learn how to prioritize. That's one thing I'm learning as well. Sometimes you have to like really push it. Like I had to design a poster the other night, and it had to be done that night, and I was up till 1 a.m. But like you have to sometimes there's deadlines, and then sometimes you need to pull back, because self-care, it has to be the priority. I mean, if we burn ourselves out,
I'm about
that's
to
it.
say you can burn yourself out.
Yeah. And so, you just have to learn how to find the balance. It's like the work-life, home, everything balance, and I'm working full time. I teach music to elementary students in Burnaby. Yeah. So then I come home and I grab a little bite, and then I'm working on music.
Yeah. So
go to bed early.
You can definitely burn, because not only are you just working on music, but like you're trying to set up shows, you're trying to network, you're trying to do all these other things, as well as raise a kid. As well as work, and it can be daunting sometimes. And without a team too, you just feel like you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Did you feel
like an island?
Yeah. Did you get burned? Did you feel like throughout this journey that there was a time where you feel kind of burned out, your energy low?
I mean, coming back from injuries for sure. Yeah, like you're rebuilding yourself. Music, though, is the thing that kept me going. I've had to learn how to walk twice all over again in the last 4 years. And definitely, like, I had some shows lined up, even though I was like, how am I going to do this show? I don't know how I did it, actually. But it was that music that, like, was the sheer will of survival and, just, like, that one thing to hang on to. Like, music always has my back.
Yeah.
Definitely
therapeutic.
Yeah, but you have to learn how to set it down sometimes, and I had to,
Yeah.
But I'm like, nah, this is my time now. Turn 50,
Yeah.
Things are evening out and balancing out. I'm feeling empowered to take next steps. It's like the great unknown. It's a really fun journey, but you have to, we always talk about this, you have to really want it. Because if you're not hungry for it,
that passion, you gotta have that passion.
Yeah, well, there's so many levels, there's so many details, but, hooking up with people like you in community, like we have always encouraged each other. Sometimes we don't talk for weeks and weeks, or like have like 6 meeting dates that don't work out. But, like you're all about empowering other people too, and community and support and everything. So you have to surround yourself with the people that are like-minded like that too.
Yeah. Definitely. So with Queen level production, what are some things that you offer and want to, since we're talking about empowering people, what are some of the services and things that you're looking to provide?
First and foremost, it's doing events. Like, you know, I want to have a combination of musical performances, but also get some industry panel going, you know, and have some discussions, bring in some food from the local community, you know, make it a community event.
Yeah.
But it really is about encouraging and supporting female identify. I like to say that because we are inclusive, you know, women, to step into the ring, you know, to start to build themselves. And so there could be some artist development for sure. We support in different ways. But even things like, even just like event production or helping other artists, you know, with this Elevate at Calabash on May 9th, Queen Level is, you know, helping with some of the production and some of the, you know, details around that, like just seeing others thrive. And so lifting up partnerships and community, you know,
Vocal arranging.
Any
vocal arranging.
I was going to say
Songwriting.
any vocal coaching and
Of
stuff?
course,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
I've been vocal coaching since I
Jingles.
was 19 years old. Yeah.
And I saw one of your students who was performing with you. You remember when we went
yeah.
at Guilton
Shirley.
Cove? Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell a little bit about that story that you
yeah.
used to give her vocal lessons.
I met her through the Sarah McLaughlin School of Music when I used to work there. And it was an after school program at an alternative high school. And, you know, some of these kids, like music is what got them through. And so I just noticed like a lot of talent in her, and she really didn't have anyone to lean on, you know, to support her in that way. So I became almost like Auntie Jessie. And she was 17 then. She's almost 30 now, I think. And she's a mom. She's a single mom. And through some friends in the industry, actually Tiago.
Shout out to my man Tiago.
Yeah. They connected me. I was looking for a backup singer, and he's like, well, I know someone that you might, you know, want to hook up with. She's got a beautiful voice. It was Shirley.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. And like we've cried over it, you know, like just and then just showed such gratitude for each other. She got to talk to me like, you were the person that guided me all along and gave me confidence. And you know, you can't really keep in touch with your students, but I always wondered what happened to her. And now she's one of my backing vocalists when I bring one on.
That's dope.
Yeah, and she's a vocalist in her own right, you know, like I'd love to support her more because she's got a beautiful voice. Yeah. But you know, you definitely so there's like vocal coaching. I do graphic design.
Many
I'm
hats.
trying. Yeah, lots of different hats. But and then, you know, with skills that I don't necessarily have, I can definitely like help people link up.
Yeah.
Or like create partnerships.
I
or
can
whatever.
bear witness to that.
Well, you know, it's all about being generous with each other and wanting the best for each other. So,
Amen.
And you said a word, and I'm gonna throw this over to Deshaun. You mentioned guidance. So, Deshaun, with your company, what are some of the services that you provide, and do you see it as guidance, like you're helping guide these artists chasing their dreams? You helping to provide them some guidance? And
Yeah, I mean, I say I'm putting on the umbrella of artist development.
okay,
I mean, I pretty much I say I'm a facilitator, but mainly it's in artist development, I just find out where they need to be developed, and to see if I actually can help them, you know, and finding out the knowledge aspect. It's usually the knowledge. That's usually what's the lack in the industry, in the independent industry, like really independent. Even though the information is more frequent and more out there, and young artists are getting a lot more savvier to find websites and find information, you know, because right now they just, you know, how do I distribute my song? That's really all that they're really looking to, so they can get it on Spotify, and missing out on all the other avenues of knowing about the mechanics of music and how to monetize it and how to generate some form of revenue happening. You know, even though they're micro pennies from streaming, but there's other ways of knowing how to monetize your music. All right. So yeah, it is providing the guidance, you know, and the development. And that's really giving I always part of a campaign called Band Push is we push artists in the right direction. Then we instill certain things of saying, promote until something happens. Be persistent until something happens. Practice until something happens. Perform until something happens. And you just got to keep going. And look at small gigs as a paid rehearsal. Preparing yourself for when you get a chance to get on a larger stage. And that's what it is. It's preparation. And then when you do get that opportunity, you have the back end. So when you're out there, grassroots marketing and promoting your website, promote your website first. I'll say that again. Promote your website first. Do not promote all the other social medias out there and do the job of being a brand ambassador for them and jacking up their advertising. Because that's all it is. It's consumer impressions. Push people to your website. Then you can get those unique visits. And then back in the days, we used to sell advertising on our own website. Banner ads, site scraper ads. We used to sell. What happened to that? You don't even see that anymore. Why are we giving away? It's okay. I'm not going to go on a tangent, but I'm like, why are we giving those guys the money? But I always say promote your website first. And then when people are going to your site, and then they're going to search your name anyway. So then they're going to go and jump on trying to find you on all the social medias that they like. So make sure that everything looks unified. So you got to make sure your back end is proper.
Yeah. See, my wife, she's a programmer and she encoder and stuff, and she helps with branding. So, like you're saying, the consistency of the
unique visits, man, you can sell it to an advertiser, a local ad. Again, like I said, this is the biggest thing. Is I always say, whatever you see is happening out there on the larger level, it's the same principles. Just dumb it down to where you're at. If you know local businesses, then okay, there's an advertising campaign. There's tour sponsorship. There's conflict. I can go on forever, but it's not. I always say I'm not disrespecting anybody. It's not rocket science. Yeah. If you're paying attention, right? If you see and get enamored by how Sony's promoting and how BMG, Universal, how Nike and all this, okay, if you see collaborations with artists, okay, well, find that and say, okay, do I know a clothing store? Do I know somebody's starting up their own clothing brand? Cross-marketing branding is huge. Yeah. Those are things that you're showing it at your level. And then you're going to show growth. Because when other brands see that, they don't know how big and they just see that you're promoting another brand.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Jean Queen, who provide me with some wardrobe and accessories from time to time.
And there's the part of the branding that happens. Yeah. If a brand works with an artist and the artist is active by getting out and being a brand ambassador for themselves, but also for any endorsements or any other companies that they're working with, and that's building partnership because they didn't pay for that. Yeah. But they did in clothing or bartering, right? So there's other things to value other than just monetary.
Yeah, like you said, back in the day, we was all about cross branding.
Yeah, man.
Like getting with
barter that thing out, bro. What do you mean? Come on now. You know what stuff that can get done?
Yeah.
You know what stuff that could really get done if you go back to those days?
Yeah.
Come on now.
And is there value? Because this is one thing I was thinking about as far as, like you talked about streaming and how unless the Drakes and the Taylor Swift, you see money. But for independent artists, is it more important, like you said, to set up your website and drive traffic there to hope to have like an online store, to have, things that people can download and exclusives and stuff? Should artists focus a lot on that as opposed to, like you're saying, yeah, you can get it out there streaming and stuff, but you're not really seeing you're not monetizing it.
Social media, all the DSPs are great for marketing.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're great for marketing, and you don't want to. You want to basically control the narrative. That's where you can really hone down. You want to get people that you can have a one-on-one conversation with them, and having them jump on your fan page and join your friends group or something. Back in the days, they had fan clubs. People used to pay money to be a part of a fan club so you can get stuff. And and bands still do that thing, but you don't really hear too much about it. Yeah. Oh, just give me the likes and follows. Okay. I'd rather have you a subscriber onto my thing because that is value. Email and metadata is value. Value, yeah. Once you get, if you as an artist can have a career annually with 3,000 subscribers. Solid that says, I give you permission to send me marketing material. I'm on your website. I'm checking your YouTube. I'm on. Then you shoot them with the store, like you said. Develop product. Develop the video. Develop your private show. pay $5 to get it. I'll give you a code and you can watch my thing and set it up somewhere.
Yeah.
There's more than one way to, skin a cat, right? So that's the key is, like you said, create your hub, create your universe, create your world. Bring people to your backyard. They don't need to go to Jimmy's and Bob's over there first before they come to you.
Yeah.
Just so they can hear your song. Bring them to your place to hear the song. You can still, and again, people are automatic. We're all trained that if I heard your name or I hear the name Josiah, I'm gonna Google that.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Google. And then from there, your metadata needs to be on point. So then it's all there. And then it'll drive it to the right stuff, right?
Yeah.
Search engine optimization, they call it.
These are nuggets.
So
Golden nuggets that.
they are.
And that's why what you said earlier about having a summit and having this information available for the artists to empower them so that they can really be independent and see a return. On your investment. You spend money going to the studio,
right,
producing this art.
Yeah.
You want to see, like you said, you don't want to blow this other company up. You want to blow your company.
Oh,
Okay, Siri. Okay,
we're getting serious over there. A little sassy.
That was Siri giving the 5-minute mark.
But thank y'all so much for coming, and sorry for the technical difficulties we had earlier.
so good.
Do you want to play my track? Do you have it on hand?
I don't know if I have it on here.
Oh. All right.
But I can play it
Website.
On my social media. Is it? Oh.
You can hear it on justside.com.
Actually. Oh, I don't have internet.
Nice.
I don't have internet access.
Oh. All right.
And you didn't email it to me.
I did.
You did?
Yeah. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Technical difficulties.
But I mean,
It is available at College Radio.
Yeah. Go ahead and plug where people can find your music, find what you're doing. Go ahead and tell the audience where they can go to find all your music and information.
Website.
Yeah, and they should come to the show at Guilt & Co.
Guilt & Co. April 19th.
April 19th, yeah. It's going to be a good one.
And your social media, Josiah
Official.
Yeah,
on
and then the other
Instagram.
one.
Facebook is just Jessai, Jessaii. But Jessai.com is like where you can find all of that. So go to that.
Spell it again.
Website.
Spell it again.
Jessaii.com.
Like you said, push that website. Draw them there. And also Queen Level Production.
Yeah. They can find me on my website as well. And
IG?
then
Social media.
Instagram, Queen Level Productions. Yeah.
Okay. And Deshaun, where can they contact you, reach out to you if they want to?
Mango Tree. You'll find it on Mango Tree Corp or Tailor Made Management on IG.
Where they can get
they
that
can get me up.
information that you, like you said, information is power. The knowledge is power.
Yeah, man.
And I'm glad that y'all came and shared a little bit. But like I said, me and Josiah, we were brainstorming while you was walking around. And she mentioned something about a summit and just about having a panel, and I was like, dope.
Yep.
So we definitely gonna build some more, and I'm gonna be at the show. Me and the wife gonna be at the show on the 19th.
Right on.
I'm here till the 22nd, so if you want to reach out, just get in touch with Queen Level and
So thank you both.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate you, man.
Always.
Appreciate you.
Like you
Thanks,
said.
guys. Appreciate
I'm
your
all
crew.
about it.
Shout out to the crew. The technical guys rock.
Yeah. So we got some more guests in the house. I'm gonna let my man Kava take over the second half of the interview. We got some superstars coming to the stage.
Oh, yes. So.
It's an ominous way to start it with just a giant so.
Here we go. Are you scared to sit beside me or what, bro?
Actually, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't blame you.
It's a long-standing fear I have. It's specific to you, actually.
Oh,
That's the weird thing. I'll sit next to anybody else, but like,
Well,
I know what you did that one time that we agreed not to talk about. So
And here we are. Hella sus. What a start.
bro, I can make this more sus if you want. Like that's we can do this. Like
I know.
no Diddy, we're gonna sus this up.
So, before it gets too sus in here, Van City is about to host another legendary battle event. Let me first introduce the heavyweights we got coming in here.
Let me give these guys the intro.
You do the intro.
Let's do this.
Do your host thing.
All right, so here's the deal. If y'all don't know my voice by now, that means you're not plugged into Vancouver at all. I don't give a fuck if you think you plugged in. Because if you are not following Set the Bar Entertainment,
or
you do
tickets.
not know hip-hop in Vancouver.
No.
We saying that straight up. My name, ladies and gentlemen, is Red Shirt Mike. Woo. We have a crazy event happening April 27th, fully reloaded, Bully Studio, incredible rap battles. We have our co-main event here on the podcast tonight. They're going to talk their shit. I'm going to start with the fellow sitting closest to me right now because I am very much a man of proximity. We have a gentleman who was basically one of the two guys running Vancouver for years, took a bunch of time off, came back, picked up where he left off, and had nothing but classics across the country for the last, 18 months since he came back? I think it's something like that. Dude is battling in other cities, having dudes flown out to battle him there. He's been rocking out, absolutely. And honestly, he's got entire cities in Ontario scared to battle him. Let's keep it a buck.
Facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, sitting right beside me right here, Mike Wilds.
Mr. Easy Work, baby. Let's get it.
Big Salmon.
Absolutely. And beside him, we have, during the COVID era, one thing we did was we tried to do some online battles to lead up to a tournament. There was some behind-the-scenes mess ups on the staff part, but one thing happened that we all know happened. The fellow here dominated every battle through the tournament, not even close. Every time we set him up with new matchups, he rises to the occasion. Just coming off probably a battle of the night in Nanaimo on a stacked card featuring names like Carter Deems, Creative, Paul Rich, Apox. But him and Rev Ron went off and absolutely kill it. We have Shine 9 right here.
Shine 9 the chat, baby, for a reason.
Yo, it is, I'm glad that we're getting a chance to sit here and just, hijack other people's podcasts and talk our shit.
Yes, sir.
I'm super stoked. As we said, event is coming up April 27th. And you guys, it's a really interesting one. How are y'all feeling about this going into it? We'll start with the softballs first.
You go ahead, Sean. I think it's pretty clear. I've been given an opportunity here to rise to the occasion. Mr. Mike Wild is not a pushover, and it's going to be it's going to be an uphill battle. But you know what? I've never been more prepared for anything in my life. I'm coming off of quite the kill streak since J.O., about 2 years as well.
Absolutely.
I bodied Wise Guy. I beat Neckbone. I beat Cope. Pretty good.
Let's go.
I don't know about that one. I just had a classic in Victoria with Ron Martin there.
That was a crazy battle. I'm probably drop that one tomorrow.
Yeah, man. We should do more events there, man. It's
oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna say that. That's definitely happening again. We're gonna do a bridge too. We just don't want to do it too frequently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm debating because I'll either drop you guys tomorrow or the next day because I hear my battle with Freezeburn comes out tomorrow, and I'm kind of a greedy fuck like that. But that's all right.
Mike just wants to hold the spotlight for
himself.
himself.
Dude, absolutely.
Really
for a few hours, I got it. But we'll figure it out. Mike, how you feeling about this fucking battle on the 27th?
As confident as ever, man. I'm ready to do what I gotta do. Like, I need to solidify everybody already knows I'm the best in Vancouver. I just need to fucking solidify that spot.
There we go.
Right? We know what we're doing here. I'm giving this guy a shot. He's come up on his nice little run or whatever, but, when it comes down to it, it's going to be easy work, man. You know what it is.
I feel it. And I'm going to say this about the, just for some, on the event promo tip real quick.
Sure.
There are, if we're talking best of Vancouver, there are 3 names, I think. That
There's one name.
Now.
There's one name.
Stop talking about Willie B when he's not
there. Yo, so Ellipsis has been that dude for a minute.
No, shout out to Ellipsis.
Shout out Ellipsis. Ellipsis has been that dude. Obviously, G-Show's killed his last few, and those two are battling. That's our main event. That's going to be crazy.
Yep.
And obviously, since you've come back, you've been on fire.
Right.
I think, most people who are taking themselves seriously would have, some combination of you guys as the top 3.
That makes sense, yeah.
But at the same time, there's a bunch of dudes knocking on that door. Mm-hmm. Whether it's Shine, whether it's RJ, whether it's Chronic Walters, whether it's Creative. Like, there's a lot of dudes knocking on that door.
And that's the thing, Mike, is that I can't say that I'm the best in Vancouver without proving that and giving the guys that are on those types of runs the opportunity to prove that they're on the same level as me.
Okay.
Right? So
I like that.
I have to take on all challengers if that's what the best does, right? The champion takes the next best guy up. That's what he does, right? Like, he takes the next in line. So if it's Shine, if it's Bar J, if it's Ellipsis, if it's G Show, it don't matter. The result will be the same. And I'm going to prove that on April 27th.
Is some of that attitude sort of inspired by the fact that everyone keeps ducking you out east?
I mean, out east is one thing, man. I just feel like
Yo, you just said you're the best in the city. Don't go play diplomat now.
Out east is a different story than what's in the city, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's guys ducking me out east. That's fine. But I just feel like, I know you say that I'm, one of the 3 best guys, but I feel like a lot of people in Vancouver just kind of like don't count me in that sort of, and don't include me in the same conversation as guys like Ellipsis, as guys like G Show. So I need to.
It was your hiatus that did that.
100%. I agree with you, right? Like, but it's, and like, I have to keep proving myself, right?
Okay.
So I want to be that guy that takes on all challengers, and I think that shows who the best really is.
Okay.
Right?
I feel that.
I think the talent pool has evolved a lot in the past few years. The ones that have been excelling, some of the names that you have mentioned have really started to skyrocket. Yeah. Speaking for myself, there was many years where I was stagnant. I was in this forward trajectory, and I wasn't really going up.
Yeah.
And then something clicked, and then when that clicked, all of a sudden we start going up, and now we are knocking on the door, and we are going to start having these conversations. So right now they are the top 3, and that's no question. But that conversation will change within the next year.
Okay.
It has to.
So here's my question for you then, Sean, because obviously Mike's out here saying like he's the best in the city.
Facts.
And like I'm out here saying I'm the best in the world.
Yeah.
And like the difference is I ain't gotta prove it because I know it, in my opinion, is the one that counts.
So I think we just don't believe anybody named Mike. I think
absolutely. It's the ego.
Here
The name leads the ego, absolutely. But like, so I guess my question for you is, realistically, where do you put yourself if you were to make like a Vancouver hierarchy?
Realistically, if you guys don't say top 5, I think I'd have a problem with that. Okay. Giving them the top 3, I think that's pretty. That's crucial. That's not debatable. But after that, really, who's been more consistent than me? Who's been not only more consistent, but every battle leveling up significantly, and every battle is enjoyed. And then the next battle comes out and shines another level higher, then another level higher, which I think is kind of what makes this exciting. Mike Wild, he's been the man. He's been the man for a minute. But as I was trying to explain to him outside, it's almost like, you picture a line graph. He's been up here, and he's been up here, and he hasn't really had much room for growth. But me, I was down here. And then now we're up here meeting, and it's now either I'm going to take off or I'm gonna plateau, and that's how I have to look at it. This is my opportunity to show you guys what I'm capable of. You guys you've seen it little bits and pieces here and there, but as I developed and I've grown to this new monster which I've become, I really see this as my time to show you guys what I've been trying to show you for all these years. I'm at that point where I finally evolved to a level where I'm gonna talk to Mike, and we're actually gonna have something where you guys can look at it and be like, wow, Shine shouldn't have been considered the underdog. Maybe this is a lot more even than we're giving Shine credit for. Look at my last battles. Go bar for bar, separate them, actually analyze it, which not a lot of people do. But if you break it down, I can hang with the big boys.
I feel that.
You just gotta land, bro. That's the thing. You got a lot of shit that don't lead anywhere, and if I start bombing on you, it's gonna be a different fuck. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be a long night.
I see a lot of your recent battles too, where it's it's three bar setups, and there's nothing in the setups. The punchline's hard, but it's like we're waiting a long time to get to that. Whereas in me, every bar, every line builds up to that punchline. It's not random shit, me punching a tether ball, and a bunch of people are like, oh shit, he said tether ball. I remember tether ball. Like we're fucking playing in Hey Arnold Land or some shit.
Well, it's gonna be like that because I'll still be punching circles around you.
Yeah. You see what I mean about the Hey Arnold shit?
Oh man. So all right. So we go circle back to the shit talk in a moment.
Yes,
but
sir.
now you got me curious because you're saying that you're saying like if you're not in the top 5 is bullshit. And I respect that energy.
Honestly, I kind of agree. I think Shine's been on a pretty good run.
So then I guess the question for me is who takes that last top 5 spot? Because I think like realistically it's got to be either RJ, Chronic, or Creative. I think anyone outside of those three.
You guys know RJ's my boy.
Absolutely.
But let's keep it a buck. His Isaac performance it was good, but it wasn't
his best.
It wasn't what it could have been.
Yeah, it wasn't his best.
And that
That's
was
right.
and that's kind of what these little tests are. And there's no shot at RJ. He's my boy, and I'll fight for him. You know that, buddy. I love you. But I wouldn't put him there right now. What Creative just did with Carter?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know what to expect. I like Carter. He's not my particular cup of tea. I'm a bit more of the East Coast boom bappy kind of punchline style. I get it. I get why he's good. But I was worried for Creative.
Oh yeah.
And watching that battle, I stood behind Carter, and I was just in awe. Everything from his intro to his exit line and everything in between was so beautifully constructed, and it was such a great angle to take against an American white guy who's famous and is on TV, and he took all these angles, all his strength, and used it right against them, and it was one of the best moments I've seen live, I think, ever in my battle rap
Oh, it was
career.
incredible.
And so right now I'd have to say Creative.
Okay.
And much love to Creative, man. He's a good dude.
I probably have to agree. I think if Sully was more active, he'd be in that spot. That's my dog too. RJ is my boy too. You know, I got mad respect for you, man. But like, and I don't mean to toot my own horn on this. I mean, obviously, I mean to toot my own horn on this. But everybody
Let's
who
not pretend that battle rappers are
battles
humble.
me has their best performance, right? So Creative, when he battled me, that was his best performance in years. And ever since that battle, he's been on a tear, and it's been about a good solid year and a half. So, I mean, shout out to Creative, man. Like he's finally hitting his stride as a battler. He looks super comfortable in there. And
Was that the battle you dropped acid in?
that's the one I dropped acid in. yeah. And he was cooking, bro. He was really wigging out.
That was a good battle, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that also though speaks to like the strength of this card. I'll say this is that we talk about who the top 5 is in band, and 4 of them are on this card.
Yep.
We got and I know you'll be mad at me for this one, Mike, a little bit, but let's say you're in that 3 spot right now.
Sure.
That might change after this
You
weekend.
can say that,
or after
but
the event.
don't make it true.
But regardless, 4 of the top 5 in the city are
Yes, sir,
active
unquestionably.
and fully reloaded.
Unquestionably.
This card is going to be crazy. You know what I mean? And that's something that I'm super amped because we've seen the Vancouver roster we had a little bit there where things were looking a little rocky, boys.
Yeah,
that was definitely a problem.
We did, and that seems to coincide with the timeline when Shine 9 was the season 1 champion and the quote unquote best rapper in Vancouver.
You got to beat them when they're down, right? What am I going to do? Sit there and not run up that hill?
you were. You know what? I will say that you were the best at one time, but it was a time where people couldn't actually go to fucking events. So I mean, I don't know.
Hey, the top kid in slow class is still the top kid. Take away my stride, guys.
Fair enough.
All right, so I'm going to ask you about this question, but I'm going to start with Shine. Shine, what does Mike Wild do or not do that you do? So what is he not as good as you at?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched a battle of his where he had me at the edge of my seat waiting to hear how it concluded. I think if you look at some of my battles, like recently with Cope, my 3rd against Cope, when I choose to speak to somebody, I have the whole room silent, and not in the sense that it's crickets. They're fucking attentive.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people who can win a battle 3 rounds without the crowd making a sound. And I think that speaks on my nature of speaking to people. I'm more of a storyteller. I bring people through a journey like the fucking Hobbit. Like it starts off here and it ends here. And along the way, I describe every detail in a sense that's entertaining. Maybe my punchlines aren't like smacking a ball around a tether pole, but like like I understand, there's
Just
levels
jokes.
to it, but at the end of the day, you watch my third against neck bone. I speak to that man so much, even he's sitting there with his mouth open and tongue out.
Mouth open and tongue out.
Yo.
Hey, watch the video. I didn't make that up. Please watch the video. It'll give you some fucking views. Right? We'll post that link in the comments here.
Yeah, there we go. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think and I'm genuinely funny. Like, and I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, but I go into situations like this, or I'm funny. The crowd likes to laugh because they get my sense of humor. I think this is one of my strengths. If I approach this as knowing what it is, which is he's a very talented battle rapper who's very excellent at executing his performance. How do you circumnavigate that? There's only so many ways. It has to be straight on, and it has to go around the things that he has his guard down on. And I think I'm funnier. I think people want to see me do good. And I think they're at a point where they would like to see Shine in that conversation as opposed to Mike, who's been in that conversation. It's refreshing to see someone new. It's an underdog story, but I've been here since the day one. I was the second battle ever. I consider it the first because Funeral Nick, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? And my first battle, rest in peace, was with RC the Hazard.
Yeah.
And we started this, and I've been here since day one of the inception of the Surrey League. Before that, I wasn't involved. He beat me on that. But I didn't even know I was a battle rapper till then, so you got to give me some slack.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about the history in a moment, but first, Mike, you got to answer the question as well. What do you do that Shine can't keep up with?
Well, I think we kind of know the answer to that, don't we? Like, I'm gonna punch his fucking head off. For one, I'm gonna be overpowering physically with my performance. And the one thing I will say that I think I do better than Shine is my defense is really fucking good. I don't know how Shine is gonna be able to handle when I'm barking on him for 2.5 minutes and I got the fucking crowd going crazy, because I don't know if he's ever battled somebody like me in that sense, where he's just getting bombed on for 2.5. I don't know how he's gonna react to that. Like, it's Shine is he's a great battler. He's smart. He's funny.
He's handsome.
You're a good looking guy. I'll give you that. But I don't know if he like. I think the biggest difference in this. And it's funny you say, you started out when Smoked Out Volume 1. Well, I main evented that card. So I'm talking experience. I'm talking
100%,
defense. I'm talking knowing what to do when you have a fucking crazy round. I've stood in front of Prime Megadeth. I've stood in front of Prime Po Rich. I've stood in front of Young Casper, Pepe, fucking the list goes on and on. When these guys have their best rounds, I come back and I give them equal energy and I give them equal material and just equal performance. And I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up with me for 3 rounds. That's what I would say.
I don't think you're that same guy anymore. When you were wild card, you were wild card, and this new Mike Wild, that's not buzzing as much as wild card was. Maybe because it's new. Maybe it's because your name's not Mike. That's weird too. But
my middle name's Michael, by the way. But anyways,
still
continue.
At the end of the day, I think it's time for a change. You've been up there, as you said, man. You are a legend in this, but don't count me out in the sense that I've been there growing this whole time. You've been at the top, and are you as good now as when you were battling Young Casper and them? Are you? Or
I'm better. They just don't know who I am right now. Like, well, they know who the fuck I am, but it's a matter of KOTD doesn't have the same push that they did for me back. Like, KOTD's not on in Vancouver. That's who was giving me all my looks back then.
Yeah,
it's Smoked Out. I didn't really get too many whatever, but I mean, I still got people flying me out to fucking Toronto and battling guys from Memphis.
Yeah.
So it's not like they don't. It's not like I'm not gonna be next up out there. I just need to keep putting in work, keep doing what I'm doing.
No, but again, if you look at that, even like from the math point, you're right. You were on top for so long, but if you look at our views now, like you are maybe a couple. They're very similar. We're not getting. You're not so far out of my grasp.
Sure. Yeah. No. I get what you're saying.
I'll tell you the truth. When Mike told me I had to, he asked me to battle you, I was nervous, dude. You're fucking good, and I told him I need a minute, and he literally hit up my phone and we chatted, and at the end of it, I said, you know what, I'll take the challenge, and what it is now is it's not so much that I am worried about the battle. I've now studied what I think that you will do to such a point where I went from concerned to now I see every loophole and I'm going to take every advantage. So what
holes in the game.
What at first looked like, not to, David and Goliath, what at first looked very daunting is now looking a lot more doable, to the point where I'm not nervous anymore. I'm excited. You know, my nerves are gone. I was more nervous to do this fucking thing. I've never been on a podcaster, so this was far more nerve-wracking than battling. And I know you're a legend, and I know it's going to be up there, and I know the crowd's going to react. But I know where I am at now. And this is going to be a fucking dogfight if there's ever been a dogfight. And I'm quite confident at the end of it, everyone's going to change their opinion on who is the underdog going forward. Okay.
So I will add to this. I will add to what he said real quick. Yes, this is... You have an opportunity here to prove yourself as one of undeniably the greatest in Vancouver. But it's my job to make sure that doesn't happen. And I am going to do my best to make sure that doesn't happen. And when I am on, I'm as good as anybody in this fucking city. And that's all I'm going to say.
All right, so I'm asking you guys a couple more generalized questions, then we'll get back to the shit talk.
One question quick.
All right, you got your question.
Who's the first that's going to be the red shirt Mike hit my line?
Me. 100% me. Yo, because I always say red shirt hit my line, I block the call. That's how I start my fucking round.
Every friggin' battle. Every single time.
I will make fun of... He'll make fun of Mike, too. I just think I'm going to get to it first.
Every battle, too.
Dog, it's every event to this point. Like, every event, at least 3 or 4 battles are like, let's start by clowning Mike.
Was it G-Show or Ellipsis that said Mike's an idiot? Was it Ellipsis?
That was Ellipsis, yeah, absolutely.
He was fucking speaking facts, bro.
Yo, one of these days, I'm just gonna book myself a battle and just like ignore the opponent and just spend 3 rounds just firing back at every one of you fuckers.
As you should.
This battle's surreal. You won't have to put a lot of effort in it.
Yo, I'm gonna say this. I like Matt. Matt's been talking a sort of way of like, oh yeah, I've won all these battles recently. Like, why am I not in the?
Doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
I bodied him, right? You were there, right?
I honestly don't even remember that event, but like, I'm sure you did. Okay. So here's the thing: is I don't like. So I'm gonna say this. I feel like there's some people who feel like the fact that they win battles puts them higher in the ranking.
Anybody can punch a baby in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also don't care about the battles that you won 5 fucking years ago. Like it doesn't matter. Like that's why I, when we come out.
I may be ignorant here. What's the surreal beef? Is it what? I'm not.
Oh, no. There's no surreal beef. But when we were having those conversations in the Set the Bar Entertainment,
the one
Facebook
I started,
group, the one that you guys should be joining right now. If you are listening in and you are not a member of the Set the Bar Entertainment Facebook group, you are missing an incredible world of free entertainment that you should be watching while pretending to work and being on the ship.
Join the group.
Join the group.
Just like Mike doesn't work.
No, like when I work, bro. I'm not hourly. I am a contractor. I gotta get my shit done. But then afterwards, afterwards, I spend like 4 hours. But no, when people were having these conversations about like who's the best in Vancouver, like what are the, whatever, who's the top 5. I think Surreal's one of a few guys who was, feeling like pissed off that he was left out. And like, I like that energy. I like the energy when a guy's like, nah, I'm better than y'all think I am. Because like it's battle rap. You want that competitive spirit. Like if you don't have that competitive spirit, unless you're someone like Wonk who's gonna get up there and rap about how you love Taylor Swift for 3 rounds and it's just gonna be hilarious.
He's the only guy I'm genuinely afraid of battling.
Oh, absolutely. And I think like
that's actually true. I've said the exact same thing. Yeah, like, I would never fucking battle Whoop.
No way
he would
smoke
me real bad.
Unless you're someone like
Whoop
that
is the best battler in Vancouver.
Just like dealing with ego, he's just like, I'm gonna just be a ridiculous fucking
psycho. You can't beat that.
I think like outside of that, you need that competitive spirit. When I'm in the ring, I don't know about you guys, but that feeling when you're looking your opponent in the eye and you're just like, yo, I'm better than you.
Facts.
The fuck
happens
are you
every time.
You know what I mean? Like that, it's a good feeling, right?
You know what? There's nothing better, and you guys can relate. It's like when everybody's nervous before battle. If you say you're not, you're a liar. And you get up there and you start going to your opponent goes, and you in your head you're like, that's not enough.
It ain't
You
it.
know what's not enough.
Not enough.
And you get excited,
Not
and
enough.
you're not even listening to it because you know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And then
yeah,
you start your round, and you just know his ass going to
That's
get
when I crack
kicked.
my knuckles, hit him with the Ayo, and then shit just gets rough from there. It gets rough.
Dog, I'll do you one better. When I battled fucking Duff in Ottawa, which was a stupid battle that never should have been set up. He was a setup, like he died. But I remember after his first round, it wasn't even that's not enough. It was that's it? That it?
Yeah.
That's...
When I was
your
coming up, I
opportunity.
had that a
I
lot.
flew across the country.
I put a lot of effort
For
into this.
that?
What the fuck is that? Yeah.
Oh, dude, that is always a weird one. So on the one hand, you're like, yo, I'm about to win this thing. On the other hand, you're like, this dude just disrespected me.
Yeah. I felt that with Wise Guy.
Yeah, and I don't blame you for feeling like that. And the one thing I will fucking say to you, Shine, is don't fucking choke, because if you choke, I'll be so fucking pissed off.
I'll
Like,
take my
literally,
tone,
bro. Like, yeah, like, I'm
No.
just like, bro, like, just don't choke. Just come with 3 good rounds, and we'll be fine, you know? Because I'll be disappointed. I'm talking, like, I'll be disappointed.
That's not going to
Don't
happen.
choke.
I passed that by, a long shot there. And
You haven't choked in a while, which
Yeah.
is good, which is good.
I'm also
I'll give you your props.
sober
for
as
this,
a
too.
gopher. That helps a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you and RJ both have kind of turned a leaf since your sobriety, so props for that. Props. That doesn't mean you won't die, but props for that.
At least I won't die of an OD. That's for fucking sure.
All right. Let's stir the pot here a little bit. And this one's gonna we're gonna make Mike Wild play diplomat for a bit here.
Okay.
Shine doesn't give a fuck, and I don't give a fuck. Let's have this. Canada top 10. How many names from BC are on it?
At most 3.
At most 3.
Yeah, at most. I would say you can honestly argue at most 2, but I would say 3. I would say me, G Show, and Ellipsis. Like Ellipsis is bonafide like top 5, 6 probably in Canada.
Yeah,
Whereas
I'm leaving
I'm
Ellipsis
probably
up
like,
top
and I'm
5.
just looking at like general, like, because I feel like I can beat anybody in that top 10. It's just a matter of like where do other people see me? So that's kind of when you say play diplomat.
Yeah.
So like I'd put myself somewhere in the 8 to 10 range. I think that's probably kind of fair. G Show probably fits himself somewhere in there too. And a lot of, I mean, like Peck's a monster, J.O., Pet, Franchise, fucking Pathogenic. Like these are these. That's the instant. Those are 5 of the top 10 right there.
I'm gonna say this. How many I put on the list depends on who I'm talking to. Like if I'm talking like Billboard or A1 or
It's like 6 or 7. Yeah,
it's 7. And straight up I'll be like, yo, like Canada top 10, we got like Sharon, Franchise, Ellipsis, Mike Wild, G Show, Pathogenic, Chronic, Shine,
Now you
Creative.
start going.
And-
Sorry,
yeah,
Chronic.
yeah.
I didn't mean to laugh when I heard your name. I'm just like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's kind of fun. Like, I think regionality is coming back in general. People are about repping their region. You see it like right now. There's a lot of Toronto pride, and actually, I love those guys for that shit. I actually I show them love all the time, and I make fun of it, but it's because it's fun to make fun of, and I make fun of Vancouver too.
Not to be controversial or
Let's
or
go.
start anything, I think, and then this is kind of towards you, but
go.
the leaders in general, we need to tighten our ship.
Facts.
We need to when we talk about top 10 and even smoked out set the bar. We have people who haven't battled since smoked out. They're getting back in. They do one battle where they choke only 1 of 3 rounds. They're like, he's great. It's like,
Yeah, fuck the kumbaya bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
we're not being honest.
name
fuck
names.
the kumbaya
Name names.
bullshit.
I don't want to name names. A lot of them are my boys, right?
No.
I'm not going to sit here and be like,
Well,
oh,
and see, that's the problem. That's why I'm just, you know what? I don't have to name names. I'll just tell you all you fucking suck. Like, that's it. That's it.
but
Like, come to me at an event and tell me that I wouldn't kick your ass in a battle. Like, come on, bro. Like, what? I don't know, man. Like these, and like going back to like what Surreal said. Like, if you battle once a year, twice a year, you're not allowed to be a part of that fucking conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, you need to stay active, which is what I'm doing. It's why I'm battling Shine, because I might be top 3 in Van now. But if Shine goes and fucking out of town and battles somebody else and has a killer performance, he might jump the line on me. I can't let that happen.
Yeah, I feel that.
But you admit I'm there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take the battle with you if I didn't feel like you were there.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? Like, I respect you as an opponent. Doesn't mean I don't feel like I'm gonna smoke you, but and that's how I should feel, and you should feel the same, right? We should all feel like we're gonna.
You're
smoke
a little slow. I get it.
Which goes back to what you were saying. Is like we don't have enough of a competitive rivalry in this scene.
We let everybody be happy.
We let everybody off the hook, right? Like you don't. Remember what was it like after the call-up season event where I was calling people out for choking in battles, right? Like, and people start feeling a type of way about it. It's like, bro, that's not on me. That's on you. Don't choke.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, I feel like the baseline as a battle rapper. I was talking to Shine about this outside. The baseline as a battle rapper is you need to have 3 solid rounds. Don't fucking choke. Stumbly here is okay, but just don't take this shit seriously, man. Because I take this shit seriously.
Memorized and confident. Like, we have a lot of people who are approaching the level of being even worth talking about, but they go up there and they have 3 memorized rounds, but they're up there like I used to do. I used to have 3 crazy rounds. He would be like, "Oh, that's some of the dopest shit I've ever heard." But I'm sitting there like a robot because I'm scared and I'm nervous and my memory is off. Once I kicked that is when you guys started to see me go like this. So I can talk about this. I see people, and here's some names. Aaron, here's one.
Gobi is another one.
Gobi's another one. They have moments where they're good, and then we all say, "Oh, look at them. They're up next." Let's be honest here. We need a year or 2 of solid performances from these people to have them in this conversation.
Otherwise, they're not ready.
I feel when Beast Mode sees us talking and they see names like Aaron and Gobi mentioned, no disrespect to those guys specifically, but they popped up, they're like, what are we doing? So I'm saying this top 5 that we have here that we talk about, I think we got to make that top 5, and the next 5 have to be just as exciting.
Sure, absolutely, and so on my side, as far as like development of shit,
which you've been rocking, by the way.
I appreciate that. So part of the reason why I like to push our mid-rank guys, the AA runs, the Gobis,
which both, sorry to cut you off, both of you guys are fucking killing it lately,
the fuck up.
And it's fucking awesome to see. Like, okay,
you got 2 minutes. All right,
I'll let him wrap it.
We'll be really quick here. I'll answer that question off air. I think that's a more fun, real conversation. Real quick, we've announced 5 battles for this card. Ellipsis versus G Show. You guys. We've announced Willie versus Channel 5. We announced Jesus Christ. You'd think I would remember my own cards by now.
You're choking, Mike. We just talked about this.
Absolutely. We just talked about the choking. It's absolutely a problem.
Need 3 rounds, man.
What else have we? Sorry, we've canceled. We have 4 battles canceled, so I'm trying to remember which ones happened and which ones canceled.
I know the canceled ones. They're my boys too, but
yeah.
God, which?
Oh, you don't got much time.
Yeah, we gotta be quick here.
Yeah.
We had. I was really excited.
Fully Reloaded, April 27th.
Absolutely.
New West, Bully Studios.
Real quick, Ellipsis or G Show? Who takes this?
I'm gonna give it Ellipsis 2-1.
Give it to Ellipsis. All right. Make sure you're there. Fully Reloaded, Bully Studios. I'm gonna pass this back to Cava real quick for the send off. Is that what's?
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll do a real quick send off here.
Easy work. I'm out of here.
What's good, Van City? This is your boy Kava One. You didn't see much of me tonight, but we had a heavyweight lineup of super dope artists.
They're sensitive about their weight, man.
I should have chose my words better, but
That's what we do. That's our business.
Shine's on super defense mode because he's getting ready to take on Mikey Wild here. But we love you, Vancouver. Beyond the Lyrics podcast. We're getting better every episode. This is personally, I feel, the best episode so far. Fully Reloaded, April 27th. It's going to be nuts, and I'm going to be there because I have to watch all this shit go down. We love y'all from Beyond the Lyrics. I'm Kav One. K-Ski is standing over there, and all of these monsters here who you'll see at Fully Reloaded, April 27th. We out. Peace! I was on for 5 minutes tonight.
Is that not right?
Oh, that was on.